All the way across. Side Mr. Maynard. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Good morning. My name is Daniel Lee Colvin Jr., and I am the proud principal of Rocky Mount High School, home of the Griffons. Welcome to the 2021 Rocky Mount High School graduation ceremony. And I don't know about you, but I'm ecstatic that we're able to have this ceremony in person. Even though we had to move from outside, I never dreamt I would get an applause. Even though we had to move from outside to in our gym, we're fortunate to be here. I would like to thank all of you for understanding. At this time, I would like to welcome several groups of individuals who are either here in attendance or with us today or represented in some other capacity. And I would like to have these individuals stand. First, the members of the Nash County Public Schools Board of Education, Ms. LaShonda Washington, Ms. Evelyn Bullock, Mr. Bill Sharp, Ms. Sharonda Bullock, Mr. Reginald Silver, Superintendent Dr. Steve Ellis. And to my right, members of the Superintendent's Cabinet, please stand. And all other members of the Nash County Public Schools Central Office personnel, please stand. And any elected officials who may be here today. I would also like to welcome the members of the Rocky Mountain High School administration team, Ms. Keel Dawson, Mr. Elbert Maynard, and Mrs. Dr. Catilia Williams. Please give all of these dignitaries a round of applause. Also, if the familiar saying is true, it takes a village to educate a child, then we all have realized that this past year. So at this time, I'm going to ask all faculty to stand, school counselors stand, office staff stand, custodians stand, cafeteria staff, bus drivers, and our school nurse. Please stand and remain standing. Please remain standing. Before, I had already introduced to you some pretty important people, but I think they would agree that none of them, myself included, cannot come close to being more important this past year than the group you see standing. Our faculty taught those Zoom classes, not me, nor did anyone sitting on this stage. Our school counselors worked tirelessly trying to figure out how to get graduates to this very day. Our front office staff managed and adjusted to multiple changes that often came daily. Our custodians sprayed more Virex than you can imagine to keep things sanitized as best as possible. Our cafeteria staff, they never stopped preparing meals, whether our students were in school or not. Our bus drivers shifted from their normal duties of transporting students and instead transported schoolwork to students' homes. Lastly, our school nurse managed all safety protocols and was the lead person in keeping all of us safe. These individuals you see standing, in my eyes, they're the real heroes of this past year, and they are the ones who are directly responsible for our graduates getting to this day. So everyone in this gym this morning, please give this group standing the loudest applause they have ever heard. You may be seated. Thank you. I would be remiss if I did not give a very special thank you to the individuals who are responsible for all decorations and overall organization of this ceremony. Many of these individuals invested their own personal time and resources to further enhance the importance of this day. In closing of my opening remarks, parents, guardians, other relatives, and friends, your graduates have reached a major milestone in their lives. And this ceremony today should be seen as a representation of their great accomplishment and yours. Therefore, it is the expectation of the Nash County Board of Education, our superintendent, Dr. Steve Ellis, and the faculty and staff of Rocky Mountain High School that we have a graduation ceremony that is carried out with dignity and formality. We have had an entire year off from a traditional ceremony, but expectations set forth in previous ceremonies have not been forgotten. At no time should there be any clapping, screaming, or any gestures when graduates' names are being called. Every parent, guardian, or guest deserves the right to hear their graduate's name called, so please refrain from any distracting noises. I promise at the end of this ceremony, you will be given the opportunity to celebrate your graduates as loud as you want to. Now at this time, it is my pleasure to present our first student speaker from the class of 2021, Ms. Naomi Hayes.
Good morning, Griffons. Good morning to our our distinguished guests, elected officials, school administrators, school board members, Dr. Stephen Ellis, our superintendent, the Nash Rocky Mount Central Office Cabinet members, to our principal, Mr. Daniel Colvin, the principals of different schools, our dynamic teachers and staff, our dear parents and fellow graduates. My name is Naomi Hayes, and it is my absolute honor to welcome you to this afternoon's graduation of the class of 2021. First, I would like to thank all of the members that were on this committee that selected me to be a speaker at the commencement ceremony. It has been a lifetime dream of mine. The performing arts have helped mold me into who I am today. And through them, I was inspired by a quote from one of my favorite Broadway plays, Hamilton. The quote is, look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now." To the staff, faculty, family, friends who are all attending today's graduation ceremony, I have just one question to you. Do you see what I see? Because when I look around in this crowd, I see 4 years of hard work. I see 13 years of hard work since kindergarten. I see doctors, lawyers, teachers, billionaires, CEOs, innovators, scholars, future presidents. I see the brightest future. And most of all, when I look out into this crowd, I see pride. I feel nothing but pride and joy for each and every person in the graduating class today, and I hope you see that too. High school has been an unforgettable journey with many trials and tribulations that have led us to this point. I would personally like to thank the Rocky Mount High School staff and faculty and the Griffon family and friends that are here today for bringing us a support system and bringing us where we are today. Graduates, every obstacle that we faced has brought us right here to this day. So I ask you again to look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. Before I leave, I would just like to take a quick second for the graduates to reflect back on the very first day of high school at the very first day of school pep rally. Take a moment to bask in the glory of how we looked our freshman year. I would like you guys to think about the sheer embarrassment on our faces when Coach Gainey went to go do the Griffon Pride chant, and we had no clue what to do. But it's been 4 years, and I would like to show Coach Gainey what we've learned since then. Are you guys ready? Yeah. It's all about that. I said it's all about that. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for listening. And remember, Naomi loves you, you're amazing, you're beautiful, and if no one tells you today, I'm proud of you. To our beloved guests, welcome to the Rocky Mount High School's 2021 commencement ceremony, and to the class of 2021, we did it, guys! I am also pleased to introduce our next speaker, prospective student Cali Wilson.
Good morning, and welcome, class of 2021. Before I begin, I would like to take a moment to recognize our teachers and all of the hard work that they've put in to make this year as normal as possible. Despite the circumstances, their dedication to their students has made it possible for us to be sitting here today as soon-to-be high school graduates. So to all of our teachers, thank you. One thing I wanted to ensure when writing this speech was to not dwell on the fact that this year has been hard. We've all experienced it. We've all struggled through the pandemic and had to adapt to virtual school. We have also all heard time and time again the negatives of this year. All that the pandemic has taken from us, how difficult the changes have been, how much we've lost. So what I wanted to do with this speech was to focus on the positives, on the many accomplishments we've made over the past year. Graduating high school is a major accomplishment in itself and should be recognized as one. If you're sitting here today about to graduate, you should be proud of yourself. but many of you have gone above and beyond that, participating in sports teams, working a job, taking care of siblings, maintaining relationships, all while weathering COVID-19. As much as I would like to recognize every single accomplishment of every senior this year, our time is limited, so I would like to take the time to just recognize a few. The girls' basketball team and the football team won their conference championships. In total, this year's senior class has been awarded over $2 million in scholarship money. Our senior class raised over $1,500 to help with the humanitarian crisis in Yemen. All of these accomplishments are impressive enough on their own, but are even more so when you factor in how different and challenging this year has been. Between all 260 of our graduating seniors, we have so many achievements to be proud of, and I hope I was able to do them some justice by taking the time to name a few. However, as I thought about this speech and began to write it, I realized that it's impossible to focus on the good without the bad. Although I'm sure we're all ready to move on and forget all about the pandemic, I encourage you to remember the difficulties that this year has presented. But most importantly, I want you to remember that we overcame them. We are all sitting here as almost high school graduates because we are capable of overcoming adversity. Stephen Hawking once said, "Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change." It is this ability to adapt that has allowed us to overcome this year. In a few years, when you think back on your senior year of high school, I hope that you feel great pride at all that you accomplished. But I also hope that you don't block out the struggles. When I was doing research to write this speech, I noticed that almost every single graduation speech seemed to include something inspiring about the future. But if we're being honest, none of us really know exactly where the future will take us. However, we can take comfort in the past. By refusing to forget these difficulties that we have overcome this year, my hope is that you will only be reminded of your strength and ability to adapt, and that this will inspire you to face new challenges. We are some of the only people in the world who can say that we graduated during a global pandemic, and if we could overcome that, we can surely overcome whatever's next. To my fellow graduates of the class of 2021, I'm proud of you. Never forget what you're capable of, and congratulations.
At this time, I would like to bring Mr. Elbert Maynard to the stage.
Michaela Lachey Addison. Joshua Tyler Adkins, cum laude. Brian Daniel Adlam. Asia Kiera Alston. Joseph Junior Alston, Jr. Keishon T. Andrews. Shekinah Michelle Arrington, magna cum laude. Nazir Kasim Atkins Williams. Alexis Michelle Avon. Manya Awamle, magna cum laude. Manaja Trinatica Baines. Jasmine Carlene Baker. Logan Elizabeth Banizak. Caleb Christian Barber. Deshanti Chatez Barnes. Deshaya Shanae Barnes. Jalen Lamar Barnes. Tishan Curtis Barnes. Michaela Deanne Barrett. Zamora Chantella Barrow. Joseph Elijah Bass. Jalen Shawan Battle. Janaya Elise Battle. Jaquan Battle. Nizaya Lamont Battle. Serenity Lachey Battle. Tiana Inasia Bell. Zakiah Imari Bentley. Quinshira Lachey Best. Alessander Kalajuan Blunt. Romana Geraldine Quashe Blue. Omega Jaman Bobbitt. Vontre Cordell Bobbitt. Elliot Langley Boone, summa cum laude. Michaela Anissa Bowers. Cameron Blake Boyd. Jayla Nicole Boyd. Aaliyah Regina Brake. Yendor Zywan Braswell. Nidasia Monet Brockington. Alexis Janae Bullock, summa cum laude. Raina Rashandra Bullock. Kobe Jordan Bunn. Amaya Janae Burgess. Christian Alexander Burgess. Shania Denise Bird. Myleek Tayshawn Kajusti. Jaimani Catherine Carter. Zykayla Chenille Clayton. Shania Renee Cobb. Javalia Sade Cooper. Diego LaShawn Cuffy Diesla. Nathan Matthew Curlings. Nakaya Rochelle Costello. Michaela Tiasha Dancy, cum laude. Tykeria Nicole Dancy. Quantavis Malik Davis. Demarion Nashawn Deans. Denham Rajan Dew. Kanisha Janae Dickens. Tarika Lachey Dickens. Daniel Emmanuel Dozio. Latuan Manette Dozier Jr. Brandon Deontay Dunstan. Kayla Monique Dunstan. Ryan Scott Dunstan. Kamaya Ijane Epps. Jaquasius Sincere Ishan Evans. Yasmin Sharice Evans. Fabiola Fabian Placencia, summa cum laude. Tifiana Alasia Fenner. Quincy Shaquem Gamble. Tyla Canise Garcia. Adrian Garcia Alvarez. Ramey Matthews Gardner. Zaytravis Rontel Garrett Jr. Nikeria Lashanti Garvin. Emmanuel Gavia. Grayson Bree Gibson. Hakeem Emmanuel Godley. Miracle Anjane Gonzalez, magna cum laude. Johnny Ross Gregg III. Graham Wade Griffin, magna cum laude. Amaya Larae Grimes. Jordan Malik Gunter, cum laude. Nyla Nicole Gwynn. Gavin Langley Harrell. Audrey Caroline Harris. Kiera Nicole Harris. Skyla Joy Janelle Harris. Takira Lachey Harris. Sanijah Sincere Harrison. Egypt LaShawn Harrison. Jordan Jirel Harrison. Markina Kiana Harrison, cum laude. Maya LaBelle Harrison, summa cum laude. Evan Matthew Hart, cum laude. Nichelle Naomi Hayes, cum laude. McKinley Raheem Hines Williams. Kazaria Tishavian Jakiria Hinton. Quanisha Felicia Horn. Takara Sharika Howington. Cameron Demond Hunter. Ray Brown Hutchinson. Sophie Zenaida Imperial. Tendai Ina Ann Jackson. Michael Tyler Jeffries. Chloe Grace Johnson, magna cum laude. Diasia Johnson. Kamani James Johnson. Asia Monet Jones. Chloe Renee Jones. Jonathan Wade Jones. Tabria Devon Jones. Doran Elizabeth Jordan. Caroline Elizabeth Joyner. Rashana Monesha Joyner. Razamian Malik Joyner. Yolanda Danielle Joyner. Skyshun Nikhil Kent. Isra Ferris Khalil. Michaela Salethia Knight. Isis Sanaya Lane, cum laude. Ezekiel Mackay Lawrence. Shania Mildred Lawrence. Xavier Jashawn Lawrence. Zaire Antonio Lawrence Penn, cum laude. Janaya Kanice Leak. Isaiah Eric Lee. Allison Lynn Levioki. Davion Jaheim Lewis. Jessica Denise Lewis, magna cum laude. Cedarius Dryce Lewis. Timothy Michael Lewis, magna cum laude. Jacob James Lindsay, summa cum laude. Clara Palmer Lord, summa cum laude. Jada Shanice Love. Jaya Amari Lynch. Rakaya Najee Marshall. Jasmine Marie Martin. Sabrina Elizabeth Martin, cum laude. Jalen Dewan Mason. Jocelyn Gabrielle Maynard, summa cum laude. Maleka Akili Maynard. Megan Elizabeth McLean, summa cum laude. Andrew Michael McCoy. Savion Jackson Meeks, cum laude. Benjamin Daniel Melnick, summa cum laude. Caleb Tyreek Mercer, magna cum laude. Jalexis Kiesia Mills. Abigail Christine Moore, cum laude. Camille Ariana Moore, magna cum laude. Michaela Renee Moore, summa cum laude. Tynesa Shania Moore. Lania Deandra Morgan. Sanad Saeed Najameddin. Michael Wanez Nelms. Vivi Nguyen, magna cum laude. Khalil Jamal Nicholson. Kiara Ariel Nicholson. Malak Saleh O'Day, cum laude. Kashanti Lashun Odom. Zachary Kenneth Orton, cum laude. Christian Jamon Parker. Destiny Jabria Parker. Carrie Tyrone Parker. Alexis Marie Parker Whitney. Marche Amara Patterson. Autumn Rihanna Pearson. Tyler Franklin Pagero. Virginia Cassida Perkins, magna cum laude. Jasmine Michaela Person. Janasia Nicole Person. Terry Nakia Petway. Anaya Unique Pittman. Annabelle Shamia Pittman. Ashanti Chantel Pittman. Erica Kalia Pittman, summa cum laude. Janaea Marnie Pittman. Jaquan Marquavius Pope. Christian Ty Pounds. Alexis Nicole Powell. Carmen Dimanche Powell. Chloe Janelle Powell. Miles Joshua Ahmad Powell. Jacob D. Pridgeon. Trey Lawrence Pugh. Aisha Sadiq Katabi, summa cum laude. Austin Scott Ramsey. Christian Jameek Randall Myers. John Kyle Rich. Colin Seth Richardson, summa cum laude. Philip DeJuan Richardson, Jr. Curtis Robinson, Jr., cum laude. Anna Karen Roblero Alvinas. Selena Elena Rodriguez. Eduardo Rogel Borjas. Andrew Scott Rollins. Victoria Grace Rose, cum laude. Octavius Malik Khalil Royal. Emmanuel Ruffin. Selena Santiago. Joshua Alexander Scott. Kiwan Talik Seaborn. Jihan Yahya Shaban Basuni. Jamadi Jahim Sharp. Javari Kamad Sharp. Keyshawn Jamez Silver. Zykeria Tiawana Martise Simmons. Carnell Yashawn Simpson. Shania Michelle Smith. Shirique Maurice Smith. Tavon Bernard Smith. Winter Akila Jakayla Smith. Demaya Sophia Lawrence Spencer. Ramondi Earl Stansel. Skylar David Steele. Takanji Amani Stevens. Jakari Zion Sumler, cum laude. Jackson William Tedford. Brooke Ashlyn Temple, summa cum laude. Justin McKinley Terry. Aaron Lee Thompson. Christopher LaShawn Thompson, Jr. Jackson Bain Thompson. Walker Birch Thompson. Shudaiman Monique Thorne. Tanaya Denise Thorne, cum laude. Katie Valdivinos, magna cum laude. Mwata Odai Valier. Jada Kanija Vick. Dennis Ray Waller Perez. Sarah Catherine Walco. Charles Arthur Warner, cum laude. Michael Tyler Watkins. Rayshana Denise Faye Watson. Thomas Beck Wellenhofer, summa cum laude. Caleb Marcel Whitaker. Naya Monet Whitaker. Tamonte Amir Whitaker. Vanika Marie Wilkins. Zanetta Elizabeth Wilkins. Brianna Taizé Williams. Darsavius Rayoderick Jaquan Williams. Damani Jaquan Williams. Nataya Nashay Williams. Nazir Nishan Willoughby. Cali Schaefer Wilson, summa cum laude. Morgan Madeline Woodard. Jemiah Nizeria Woodley. Tanaya Sincere Woodley. Sade Jonte Woolard. Michael Keontae Worley. Chandler Carolan Young. Kaylin Michelle Yvonne Young. Keyshawn Dion Brown. Nyreek Rayshawn Horn. Dorian Irvin Jordan. Seth Edward Schlenner. Sierra Denise Sworn. Seth Edward Schlenner.
Let's give this class a round of applause. Class of 21. Thank you. Thank you. Class of 2021. We're almost at that moment. The moment when I will confer your diplomas and have you turn those tassels. But before we get there, please be seated. But before we get there, I would hope to have your patience a little longer in order to afford me the opportunity to afford and offer some words of wisdom. And I hope you will hold on to them. I have a favorite poem which I often refer to when I'm trying to encourage others or even myself. This poem is called Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson, a self-help guru who once announced her candidacy for President of the United States. One would have to ask, where does this woman get so much confidence and at the same time show so little fear when she knows she's taking an unpopular position? I think our answer is in the power of her words. So I will attempt to not only read the words from her famous poem, Our Deepest Fear, but I will also try to explain as best I can as to what she was trying to convey. As a disclaimer, there is a word used in this poem that some may not agree with. If you hear this word and feel it is not appropriate, simply replace the word in your mind with parents, and it will fit just nicely in the context of this poem. First stanza. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are more powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. What I think Ms. Williamson is trying to say here is this: you know you're not inadequate, and that you all have the knowledge, skills, and confidence to be successful. However, some of you do fear unleashing all of those talents you have inside of you for fear of how you might be judged. Stanza 2. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. This stanza is pretty straightforward and links perfectly with the first. Ms. Williamson is basically saying to all of you, you can be brilliant, you can be gorgeous, you can be talented, you can be fabulous, because it is exactly what you were intended to be. Remember, you are more powerful beyond measure, and you can do anything you want to be. Third stanza. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. That's a powerful stanza. Graduates, please don't miss what she is saying here. Never, ever should you suppress your talents or diminish who you are to become, just to fit in so others will like you. You have something to give, so suppressing your gift, you are actually doing the world a disservice. Our world is better when individuals know their gift and unleash their gift with a purpose. Stanzas 4 and 5 are so tightly intertwined, I cannot read them separately. I must read them together. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. Both of these standards are so simple but extremely powerful. If you were put on this earth, then you are seen as an equal, and you are meant to shine as children do, just like the men and women sitting next to you. Stanza 5 says, "It is in all of you and not just some of you." You have to unleash all that is inside of you. So graduates, why must you do this? I think you will find the answer in the last stanza. As we let our own light shine, that's your light, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we liberate it from our own fear, our presence, your presence, automatically liberates others. Graduates, when you realize that you are brilliant, gorgeous, fabulous, talented, and you unleash all of those things, then you will be liberated. You will be set free. That newfound freedom will have you believing you can accomplish anything. But most importantly, if you unleash, meaning liberate yourself, then your mere presence will have others believing they can do the same. This is how you become better. Your neighbor becomes better, and our world becomes better. Graduates, if you did not know it, you were already more powerful beyond measure. And now with the high school diploma in your hands, your power is unlimited. Thank you. Graduates, please stand. Parents, guardians, friends, and other esteemed guests, I am now prepared to present to you the class of 2021. By the power vested in me by the Nash County Public School Board of Education and the state of North Carolina, I now pronounce each of you graduates of Rocky Mount High School with all the rights and privileges afforded thereby. Congratulations, you may turn your tassels.
Curtis Robinson, Jr. Andrew Michael McCoy.